While it is installing, let us go to the content. So here, anyone have some questions in installation? So if you have some questions, you may type it. Okay, I can't see a screen. No. Yes, we will make this available. Okay. Can anyone install the pandas package in Phony? Is it work for everybody? Okay, great. So we go back to PowerPoint. Okay, so here is the content. So for the count Excel function, what I mean by coding comprehension is that when you see something at the very basic one, is like a function in Excel. So when we want to make use of those code, the Excel function, for example, so we need to first start it. So in Excel, you will start with a equal sign, and then you can type the function name. For example, this demonstration is counting the number of cells that have number. So the result is 5, and how to make use of count function in Excel. We will like equal sign and then the function name count. When you type count, Microsoft is quite good. I think it has this function called intelligence sense. So when you type the first few words like COU, it will automatically pop you that it has a count function, and also count ifs. Some more function that available for the first few words. So this one is quite useful when you have a very, very long program to write. If you are writing program, the VS Code is quite, it has this kind of intelligent sense to help you to not to memorize so many functions, but it will prompt you to remind you there are some functions you can use. Okay. And then when we do coding, there are some symbols we need to be careful. For example, in Excel, square bracket means optional. Okay, so this kind of symbol only you will get familiar when you use it quite frequently. Okay, so how we turn it into how to turn the count function into a pandas package. Let's start with how to use the Phony. So in this about session is the text editor that help you to save your code, the Python code. And if you want to execute this kind of Python code, you need to run it in this 3 arrow. So import pandas as PD. There is a convention to shorten the typing. And inside this pandas package, there is a read_Excel method to help us to read the Excel into pandas data frame. Okay. And then when we do programming in Python, it is a lower level, and the complexity just kind of scale up. So just the read_Excel method, it has 4 parameters for us to set. In the count function in Excel, it only has 1 parameter. So yeah. So you need to be careful when you are doing pandas programming. So a lot of concentration needed. And then when you read, so when we read the Excel sheets, the count sheet into df1, and you can do indexing in Panda data frame by using this square bracket. So this means it will remove the last row the last element in the df1 object. So when we remove it, and then we can do the apply the count method on the new data frame. So we arrive the same result 5. Okay. No worry. Later on in the demo session, I will type all these stuff to let you know how it works. Yeah, because to do the coding comprehension, we first understand it, and then we can try to type it and then execute it, and to see if there is any typo or anything with any error we need to debug. Okay, and then the count function, there's some application example. For example, to count the number of cells, you can just count this range with numbers, and then it will show you the number of days. Okay, now let's level up to count if function in Excel. So the first one is that you will see we have 2 parameters. The first one is range. So you have to count this range if, so we have a criteria parameter here. So if it is greater than 9, okay, so the result is 2. And this is called a syntax. If you want to use greater than 9, you need to use double quotation to code the criteria. Okay, so when beginner in programming, you sometimes we just not so familiar in familiar with the syntax. Okay, but when you use it quite often, so you will get more familiar with it. Okay, so let's see how it works in pandas, the count if function in pandas. In the above, we just read the count if sheet into df2, and then we know that we have to do the filtering. So we will generate Boolean expression. For example, you just remove the last number, and then to check if it is greater than 9. So it will generate a column which is full of true or false. So in programming, the result is true or false. We call it Boolean. Okay, so this is a Boolean expression. And then for Boolean, true is equal to 1, false is equal to 0. So if we have this column, the result you can think of, you can just sum all this column, this which is 1 and then 0, 0, 1, 0. So the solution will be 2. Okay, and dot tag is very handy in Python. You just dot tag, and then it will show you the available methods in pandas database. For example, subtract sum, and then you can see a sum, which is the method associated with pandas database. Yeah, so we sum all the true and then the false. So true is 1 and then false is 0. So summing up equal to 2. And then we have the result that the number is greater than 9. The result is 2. Okay. So, and then from Microsoft Office, there are some application example for count if function. For example, if you want to count the number of invoice created by Full Channel, so you just type the count if function with the range and then the criteria. So it's 7. Okay. You can try to see write a few examples and then check if you can do it in in Python pandas package. Okay, and then the last one is about count if s. So count if s is the extension to count if, because count if we have one condition only, one criteria only. But if we have multiple condition, multiple criteria, then we can use count if s. Okay. The first one, criteria range, and then criteria 1 is compulsory parameter. So it is not begin with square bracket. Because for if s is to start with one if condition, and then the other one, second condition, third condition, and you can do it. So this additional optional criteria parameters, you can type it. And in this exercise, we are going to count the result should be 1. So what it is counting is that in column A, if it's green, then we count it. And then there is second criteria in column B, if it is greater than 9, so this one. So only row 4 satisfy both criteria. And this is a logic because it has to satisfy both criteria. So green and then greater than 9. So the result is 1. Because if you know that for 2 if condition, you can use OR. If it is OR, then the result will be either this one, or this one. So row 1, row 2, row 4 will all satisfy the OR case, and the result will be 3. But in Excel, the count if s function is using A. So be aware we are taking the and on both criteria. Okay. And so this is the tricks for why we are going to do programming. Because in Excel, you see there's a limitation. It just enforces you to do the AND case for 2 criteria. But if you are doing programming, you can just relax the condition to be OR case as well. And so we see how to do the count if s in Python pandas programming. The second one for programming, the interesting things for programming is that you can have multiple methods to arrive the same result. So this is the first method that we can arrive the count if s functions in Excel. So how to do it? The first one is that this is not about the programming, but it's about data cleaning. When we read the Excel into the Excel sheet into DF3, the row 5 and row 6 not necessary for us to do the programming, so we can drop it using the drop NA method. And this drop NA method is very popular when we are doing handling the missing value in data frame. And missing value is everywhere. So drop NA method is quite useful when we try to clean up the data for further analysis or doing those machine learning models. And then, as we know, in pandas, there are so many parameters. If we don't type it, it will automatically have some default values. So you see, this one I just don't type the SS equal to 0 because the default one is 0. So you can just don't type it and then assign it to a new variable called df3. Okay, so now DF3 is what we would like to do the programming. So how to do it? You know that we can indexing by slicing the first column of DF3 with this one, where bracket 0. So we first take the first column out and then generate the Boolean expression to check if the first column is equal to green or not. Okay, so for this one, and you can put it into the DF3. Right. And then in here, we just filter the original DF3 data frame by just 2 rows. Okay, it remains those rows with green only. Okay, so at this point, we can extract this row, this column, and then filter it to see if it is greater than 9. So we apply the same logic. So we select this one, the second column, and then to check if it is greater than 9, and then it will give us true or false. And this is the error message, because when doing programming, especially in lower level programming, like pandas, we may have some kind of typo. For example, I haven't typed the bracket here, so there's an error message pop up. But at this point, we are going to debug it to see if any typo or if there is anything we think wrong. And lastly, we just sum these two, true or false. True is 1, and then false is 0. So summing them up, we will have the results 1. Okay. So this is the first method to arrive the count if S function in pandas programming. And then let's see the second method. The second method is what I introduced before. We just take out the 2 conditions. Okay, the first condition is to check if it is the first column is equal to green, and then assign to a variable int1, and then the second condition, if the second column is greater than 9, and then assign it to another variable int2. So by doing so, we have 2 conditions, and then for these 2 conditions, we can apply an or logic, and then do the filtering. So for these 2, int1 and then int2, we concat it to a pandas data frame, and then we can assign it to a df10 data frame. Okay, because we don't want to overwrite the original df3. So for this one, because we just need to have the results, so we assign it to a new variable df_10 for computing the result. And here we will check if some of the rows equal to 2, because this one true. If you sum this row is equal to 2, then we can get the result. So df10 dot sum SS equal to 0, and then we can sum all the rows for their values. So the first row is 1, because 0 plus 1 and then equal to 1. And then the third row, row 3 is 1 plus 1, so it's 2. So we have the result. Okay. So you just sum it up, and then we can arrive at it. And here is an application example from Microsoft Office. You may count in the number of people by region who has order no less than 50. So by region, and then with the order criteria, and then you sum in the number of people. Okay. So let us work it out. Before that, let me see. Okay, for the Excel one, if we want to count the number of cells, so we will do it like this. Bullseye is to trigger the so can this is called the intelligent sense. So you know, COU it has this kind of functions that you can use. So and yeah, can and then the value, and then it will arrive 5. There are 5 cells with numbers. Okay. And then for can if equals can if, and then we want to see if this range and then the criteria. So for the syntax, if we don't type O, if we just type the 9, and then it will it means if anyone equal to 9, so the answer is 0. And then if we want to do it like greater than 9, and then when we do it like this, and it will pop up a problem with the formula because it's kind of called the syntax. It requires you to do the double quotation so that it works. So the number of cells with value greater than 9 is 2. Okay. So if you cannot read Excel, you need to do the tools and then manage package, and then you install this package. This is for reading the Excel. So you can install it by in the tools manage package, and then this one. Back to Excel. Okay, so and then for the count if as function in Excel, so we are counting if it is the column A has green and column B has value greater than 9. So you can do it like equal sign to start the function, and then count if is, and then criteria range 1 is range. Then what is the criteria? We want to check if it is equal to green. And then the second criteria range, okay, this one. Then we want to check if it is greater than 9. So we arrive the answer. Only this row. Both we have equal to green and then value greater than 20. Okay. So let's switch to Phony to programming. In Phony, when we use those third-party package that we install from this one to manage package, we will need to import. You see it is now in purple color because it means it is a reserved word in Python language. So you should not save or create some variable names with import or as, because it is like a reserved word. And now we can create a variable called df1, assign it to the panda.read underscore, and you do it like this one. It is a method. In convention, it means function. Okay, it's the Excel method, and then we do it. We open the can. Open this Excel workbook. Count some functions. And then how we open it? We open it with a reading mode, reading binary mode. And then we see that in Excel there are 6 worksheets, so we can specify the worksheet parameter. Worksheet name equal to count. Okay, so for the index column and then header parameter, now we can check. If we don't specify it, you will see that the first row 10 become the header. So we would like to remove it. To repeat the last code, you just type the page up or upward arrow. So it will just pop up what you have typed before. And then we can add the parameter equal to none, and you can check it. So we don't have the 10 become the header. See any problem? File not found. Oh, for this one, you need to put the let's see. You need to put the program and then the Excel file in the same folder. So like this one, you need to do it, the Excel workbook and also your Bonnie program in the same folder. Or you can check if your working directory is in this folder. For this one, PD is not defined because you haven't you import the pandas and then you need to import panda as PD. So PD will be defined. And for installing XLRD package, I think you can do it the same way as you install the Panda package. So let's go back to Phony. So for the PD one, if you just import it without SPD, then we don't have the PD object. So you need to SPD. So you have PD representing pandas. Okay. Then for the working directory, you can try to see this one. Import OS module and then os.get current working directory. to see if, so in my folder, I have those Excel workbook in this address link. So you can try to see this one to get your current directory, and then you copy those Excel workbooks into this file, and it should work. Or for the open mode, if you generally have reading or writing in binary, or reading in binary, or you just most often I will just reading in binary mode, and it will work. You can check the this one, check the Stack Overflow to see all other value. You can specify how to open the Excel workbook in different mode. How do we set up PowerPoint current working directory? Okay. Now os.get.cwd, it will show you the current working directory. So you just can put your Excel workbook in this directory. Or if you want to change the current directory, you can do this one, change this one, CHEIR, and then you need to do it like this one. For the folder, you see that. For example, I will say put it in desktop, then I will do it like this one. Yeah. And then the working directory will be in my desktop. If you have no module named pandas, because you need to install it first. So tool, and then manage package, and then you check if when you enter, if you have installed it, you just like this one. Okay. If you haven't installed it, you will have an install button here. You just install it. Okay, once again, tools, manage packages, and then type the package name. We use Panda package. Then enter, and then install it. Okay, let's wait 5 minutes to see if everybody can do it on your working directory with the Excel workbooks, and then see if you have installed the package pandas. So let's resume it at 10:40. I mean 7:40. If you have any question, you can type in the chat, so we can see how to handle those errors. df and then square bracket colon -1. It means we just remove the last elements on the first column. Okay. For example, this one, it has only one column, and if we df1 and then square bracket colon -1, it means we move the 5. I mean the last row, the value on the last row. So the result would be this. Because we just read the Excel worksheet into the Panda data frame, and because like the can worksheet, the 5 is not what we are going to handle, so we remove it. We are trying to reproduce the same result, so we are counting the 5 cells with values 10, 1, 7, 23. And then 5 is not our focus, so we need to remove it. Yeah, I think you can try to see if you like this one for installing the pandas package. You do it like this one. And then for here, I have an uninstall button. I can try to see uninstall it and then install it again. and then you close only and then restart it to see it can like reboot. Okay, maybe we go on. Okay. So we now have the DF1, the data frame for the worksheet, CAN worksheet. And this file is the results that we do it, the CAN function in Excel. So if we want to remove it, we use indexing. So DF1, one more stuff. The index column equal to none. This parameter helps you to just confirm that this one, the index column is just a number. So you can specify this parameter as well. Index column equal to none. What if we don't do it equal to none, we do equal to 0? If we say equal to 0, then this one will become 10, 1, 7, 23, 5. And this is not our desired result. So we say equal to none. Okay, and then EF1. Okay, and then we will do the indexing. So indexing it by removing the last row. Okay, so here you see the 5 is removed. So this is what we are going to count the number of cell with values. And to do it, we can just use the dot and then count method, which already built in the pandas package of CAN. So the result is 5. Okay. So this is programming the CAN function in pandas. Because when we read something into pandas, there's something that not necessary. So this one is just kind of called data cleaning. We clean the data frame into what we would expect it contain. Okay. And then for the CAN if, how to work out CAN if function. So this one we don't repeat it. We just do the copy and then assign it to EF2. So we want to count if this file value is greater than 9. Okay, we can do the indexing first to clean it up. Okay, so we remove the 2 and then generate Boolean results. Okay. Compile use expression. Easy EF2. So maybe we can do it like this one. Just assign it to a new variable. And then EF10 dot tag. No, we do the filtering. It's greater than 9. Oh no. This one. First column. Greater than 9. Okay. Yeah, there are some error that like this one I haven't encountered before, but you can do it like this one. Assign it to a new data frame and then index with the first column and then to check if it's greater than 9. So now we can this Boolean result assign back to the DF10 data frame and then submit. Because we are summing true and false, so dot sum. Okay, so we arrive the results to the true value. They are true because the value is greater than 9, so the true value is 2. Okay, and then the last one. So it's about count if s. So we have two methods to do the count if s. First put it into DF3. Okay, and for this one, we need to remove these two rows, so we can use dot drop ma method. Dot tag, and then it will pop you those methods associated that you can work on data frame. So drop NA, and then how there's any missing value, then we drop those rows. If you want to explicitly specify it, you can access equal to 0 means row. If you change it to 1, then it means column. So drop NA, and then it will remove those rows with any missing values. NAM means missing values in the data frame. Okay, and then let's assign it back to DS3. Okay, and then we do the first method. The first method is we first filter this data frame into a data frame that only contains green. Okay, so how to do it? EF3, and then we indexing the first column to check if it is equal to green. And we have a Boolean expression, and then we can take this Boolean expression, put it into the EF3 data frame. So now we are doing filtering with the Boolean expression we just generated. Okay, this is a new data frame, and you can continue to do the indexing. We extract the second row, second column, this one. And then you have this one, and then you check if it is greater than 9. Okay, again, a Boolean result. And for this one, we need not to further filter it, we just sum the true false results. Then we can get the result. Sum it. Okay. So this is the first method. And then for second method, we have two conditions, and we can assign the two conditions into the two variables, and then just sum sum the final data frame. So the first condition is this one. If it is equal to green, we have a Boolean result. We assign to int1 variable. Okay. And then we have second condition to see if it is greater than 9. So a Boolean result, and then we assign it to int2. And then we can concat to it because it is a AND case. So we can concat it to a new data frame and the dot concat. Concaten the ABs. With access equal to 1. After doing the concatenation, we can assign it to a data frame called df10. Okay, and then df10. So we have the first condition in the first column, second condition in the second column. Okay, and then with this table, we do the calculation. Okay, so df10 dot sum with the call with the row. So access go to 1. So we have so sum in this row we have 1, sum in this row we have 1, and then etc. Sum in the last row we have 0. So in this one we will have the final result. You can just check if it is equal to 2 and then dot sum it. Do it like this one. If it is equal to 2, is A, I think, if it is E, or this one, need to assign it back again. So assign it back to df10. And then to see if the first row, if it is equal to 2. Okay, so a Boolean result. And we can assign it back to this one. And then just submit. Okay, so this is the solution. Okay, we may take 5 minutes break. Let's start the next hour at 8, and then let's check the question in the chat. Okay. Okay. I think there are some configuration issue, but maybe we go on for the sum part, the second hour.
Yeah, Brian, feel free. I think we try our best to fix the technical issues in the chat, but I think it's also not fair to others, and I guess it's better to just proceed as well with the schedule as well. But still to iterate, we will still try to fix all the issues in the chat.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, for the sum function in Excel. So when we read those code, like sum function, there are some parameters that we can try to see, because for sum, it should be summing those numbers. So the parameter is named as number 1, number 2, not like previous. It only count the range. So the parameter name is also kind of a matter when we read those code or read those function and also those technical documents. Okay. And how to do sum in pandas package? It is as simple as count. So we read the Excel sheet into dashboard and then do the indexing. So we have the data frame and then we just dot sum. So it will arrive the result. Summing all the values 10, 10 plus 1 plus 7 plus 20 plus 3. So it will equal to 41. Okay. So dot sum method. Same as dot star method. And then like a very simple application, we want to sum the total. So we can apply the sum here. And then sum if function. So for this one, we have a optional parameter, sum range, that you can apply to the sum if function. So if the range, if sum range is not applied, then it will just sum the range. But if it is applied, like in this case, we want to check if this table is equal to green, then we sum those rows. Okay, so the result is 1 plus 20, so it's 21. Okay, so here the optional parameter sum range we specify summing this row, this column. Okay, so you can try out if we don't specify it, it will sum column A, but it won't work because column A don't have number to sum, so the result should be equal to 0 or an error. Okay, so how to do the sum if in pandas? The first one, the same as what we encountered before. We read the df5, and then we drop the missing value. We drop row 5 and then row 6. Okay, and then assign it back to df5. And now we have the df5 data frame, so we can do the filtering by first generating the Boolean expression. Okay, so to indexing df5 on the first column and then to check if it is equal to green. So we have this Boolean expression, and then we can put this Boolean expression as the index on df5. So you put it into the df5 indexing. So we have the desirable data frame which only contain green. Okay, so for this one, we can index to get the result. We can index the second column and then sum it. So we can index the second column and then apply the sum method, and then we can arrive 21. Okay. And then for the application example, for example, if you want to sum if the property value is greater than 160,000, so you can sum if this range and then the criteria is greater than 160,000. Okay, and we do not specify the sum range, so it will sum this cell only. Okay. And the final function is sum if s in Excel. So again, sum parameter, sum range parameter, and then the compulsory, because we have if s, so we at least need to have one. So it's this one, criteria range with criteria, and then this one is optional. But we have two conditions, so we can also assign the value is into these optional parameters. So for this one, we are summing this one, this range, and then two conditions. The first condition is if column A is equal to circle. So if it is equal to circle, and then column B is equal to red. So we are summing 10 and also 7. Okay. So circle red. So 10 and then 7. The result will be 17. Okay. And then how to programming sum if s in Python. So again, we do the indexing the df6, the first column of df6. After indexing it, and we generate the Boolean expression by checking if it is equal to circle. Okay, so we have this one. And then you can apply it into df6, do the filtering. So the data frame is smaller. Okay, so it only contains circle. And then second one, we can like the new data frame df10 and then do the same logic again to check if this column it is equal to red or not. So we will generate a Boolean expression, and then we apply this one into the df10 data frame, and then do the filtering again. So here we will have a result data frame that only contains circle red. So now we can just index the last column and then apply the sum method. Okay, index the last column and then apply the sum method. So we apply the result 17. Okay, and then this is the application example from the Microsoft Office, summing the total sales by region with given order greater than or equal to 50. Okay, so you can try to see, copy the information here and then using Panda to see if you can generate the same result, this number, in the Pandas. Okay. So let's do the demonstration. Okay, so for the first one, the sum method in Pandas. So we have df4 equal to Panda data frame with the read Excel method, and then reading it by opening the workbook. With reading in binary mode, and specify the name. And then these two parameters. Okay, so we read in the spreadsheet, and then df4, this one, and then we do the indexing, remove the last row, okay, and then dot some method. Okay, so we arrive the result. And okay, the sum if in pandas, again the same, so I just copy it, and df5, and then there's a missing value, so we drop it, and we now is equal to n. So this is what we need, and then we can assign it back to the data frame, and then now sum if it is green, and then we sum this the second column's value. So we are summing 1 and then 20. So the first one is that we need to indexing the first column to check if it is equal to green. So we have this Boolean expression, and then we can filter the data frame like this one. So we filter the data frame into a data frame that only contains green. And you can further indexing it for the second column. So it's 1 and then 20, and then apply the sum method. So it's 20. It's 21. Okay. And lastly is sum if s. So there's two conditions. So we can do it in the same. Filter the first condition for the new data frame, and then filter the second condition for the final data frame, and then indexing it, and then apply the sum method. So retain the data frame EF6, and we want to drop it. Drop it, and then assign it back to DF6. So now DF6, we do the indexing. The first condition is on the first column to see if it is equal to circle. Okay. So a Boolean expression, and then we can do the filtering using this Boolean expression. Filter it. Okay. So and then we can continue to do the filtering. If we filter it again and again, it will become complicated. So we generally will assign it to a temp data frame, which is the same as what we have now. Okay, so for this data frame, we select the second column, and then we check if it is equal to green. So again, a Boolean expression as well, and then we can apply it into the DF10 data frame for the filtering. Okay. So finally, we have this data frame that started for us to compute the final result. The final one is we index the last column, okay, and then you can plot some method on it. So it's 70. So that's this kind of logic. Is if you do it a few more time, and you will get quite familiar with this kind of logic, and it's not that hard. Okay. Yeah, and for extra exercise, you may try to see programming tests in pandas. This one, you can. This is a string in pandas. I mean in Python. Then you can try to see to change it to lowercase, to uppercase, to uppercase. Okay. This is an extra exercise for you, and yeah, let us do the exercise for like 10 minutes, and then we can do some conclusion on it, and also let's check how to fix the problem. Maybe if it's possible, you may share the screen or dummy screen to show the message. It's easier to do the debugging.
Since it's a bit difficult to share actual code and as well as screenshots in the chat here, we previously posted a link to join our Slack channel. I will just post this again in case anyone wants to join. Slack is essentially a small tool where we can basically chat together, and we can have their own channels, etc., and we can share code and screenshots and all these things. So this will allow us as well to help you a bit more. But feel free to join our Slack channel or just stick around.
Okay, thank you, Bobo. So for those who have no errors, you may try to do this extra exercise. It's quite interesting. You try to indexing to take this string out and assign it to S, and then using the string method to there is dot lower method and then dot upper method. So you can try to see if you can reproduce all this string function in Excel into the pandas package.
Is it done?
Okay. So we conclude the conclude at 8:30. Okay.
To answer some more general questions I've seen in the chat, we were planning, or we were planning to share the PowerPoint presentations. They will be for download later, as well as Brian has prepared some other more like a kind of handout for you guys as well. Otherwise, as I mentioned before, please feel free to join our Slack channel. I posted the link. And after this extra exercises, so if you guys feel ready, I think Brian, I guess you will start then again, like quickly going over these extra exercises, and then we will feel free to answer any more questions in the meantime.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see how to do the extra exercise, and then conclude this course. Okay. Let me see. So the extra exercise here, we will do this one. Read it. Okay, so we have a data frame like this one, EF, and then we do the indexing, EF first column. So we have the first column, and then we want to have the first element. So you do the indexing again. Okay, so this is this string, and you can do S, assign it to S as a string, and then S dot tag. Okay, so the first one is to see how to change it to a lowercase. So S dot tag lower, so it has a lower method, and we can do it like this one, S dot lower. So it will change all the letters into a lowercase. And then for the second one is uppercase, S dot upper. So you can to S dot add to see if we have the upper method. is so S dot upper, so it will generate the last result. And then S dot pad, so the final one is a proper case. If we check P, we don't have proper case. In this case, there are some common words. I mean, proper in string, it means title. Okay, so S dot title, it will change it to a proper case. So when we do programming, especially when you have written some more programming languages, there are common. I mean, in here, title means proper. Okay, so you just check out how to get the proper results. Okay. And then for the PowerPoints. Okay. And if you want to learn more about pandas or in Foundation, the Python Foundation, you can try to go to Coursera, and then IBM has 2 courses. This one is more for the Panda Foundation, like how to do if then else, how to do for loop while loop in Pandas. And then this one is more on using Pandas package. Okay. And also there is a kind of core specialization. And this is a whole series of courses for using Python to do applied data science. Also on Coursera, you can search it on Coursera, then you will see these 3 courses. And another one is about ethics. So if you go to ethics, Microsoft has a course called Introduction to Python for Data Science. So it's it also introduced some packages and also Python foundations for beginners. And then this one is a courses in ethics by UC Santiago, the Python for Data Science course. Okay. And there are 2 books I think is particularly useful when you just focus on using pandas. These 2 books, you can search it on Amazon. They are written quite well, so you can try to check it out. And lastly is I try to see writing a book to like answering some questions that may not be written in these books or those courses. And it's still not stable because I just see if it is a good way to help you guys to learn pandas or learn Python in a more interactive way. Because in this kind of this platform, it try to encourage publishing a book that isn't complete finished but can modify throughout the whole process. So the main advantage is that we can update the content which can address your specific questions. Okay. So you can try to see if it can help or not. It's still under preparation. Okay.
All right. right. Thank you very much, Brian, for this very thorough and detailed course. As we said before, we will make available the slides later for you guys. In addition, we recorded the session as well. So the recording will be available on our YouTube channel. We will send out the links and all the things to download later on in an email. Thanks a lot, Brian, again for this presentation and for this course in general. And everybody, thanks a lot also for joining, of course. I hope you guys learned something, and we will hopefully we'll see you guys soon for another event, and we hope as well as an in person and not via
This is I think nobody will. This is an accident because Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.